Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome to another edition of What's in the Bag, Jay. Now, this is the segment where I pick 6 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names on a piece of paper, throw them in the bag, draw one out at random, and do a short review. Now, all returned from last week, we have The Creep, Cottage Country, Snake Woman's Curse, Sector 7, and Shadow Dead Riot. Making its debut this week is Kiss Daddy Goodbye. I'm going to give the bag a good tussle here. Let's see. And the winner is Shadow Dead Riot. I'm going to put that aside while I sit all the DVDs side by side. Take my Freddy vs. Jason die, throw it in the cup. Three. So I'm going to give the bag another good tussle. And pick 3 out of the bag. And I just happened to pick 2 there. That's nice. That helps. We have Cottage Country. And Kiss Daddy Goodbye. Have to draw one more. Snake Woman's Curse. Now, if you want to see Sector 7 or The Creep, please vote for it, and I'll consider putting them back in the drawing. Right now, I'm going to watch Shadow Dead Riot and come back with a short review later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Shadow Dead Riot, and here are my thoughts. Now, Shadow Dead Riot is a 2006 film which runs approximately 91 minutes and is directed by Derek Wan. Now, he was responsible for Sunset Fighter and The War of Gene. Now, this stars Tony Todd, which I'm sure needs no introduction, as Shadow. He was in Candyman, Candy Corn, which I've been dying to see, and Hellfest. Also, Carla Green as Solitaire. She was in a bunch of TV, and she had a bit part in Inside Man. And Nina Hodorovic as Warden Davies. She was in Limitless and Home of Angels. Now, this had a $750,000 budget, and the scenes in the women's shower room were filmed at a gym after hours. Also, this film was shot on location at an old, disused prison in Holmesburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, where to start with this one? I am going to kind of go over the plot in a different sort of way. Of course, Tony Todd plays the main baddie, who is Shadow, who is, he has a decent part in it. Not really. The only reason why he's top billed, of course, is because he's Tony Todd, and there's really nobody else in the film. But this starts out as he is on death row, and he's getting ready to get a lethal injection, and he puts a spell on the prison. Now, this prison turns into a experimental psychiatric facility for troubled women. So it kind of starts out like a Satanist film. Turns into a women's prison film. Then you have an It's Alive film, which turns back into a women in prison film, which turns into a zombie film, which it turns into a supernatural film, and a few other things sprinkled in for good measure. Now, I'm sure I left a few of them out because when I was talking to my buddy Joe, I just couldn't believe all the subgenres that were basically thrown into this film. It's almost like they didn't know what kind of movie they wanted to make, so they just decided to make every single thing that they could think of. Yeah. This movie is a mess. An absolute mess. But being perfectly honest, I didn't mind it that much. Granted, I'm probably not going to be watching it much from now on, but there are some things that I really liked about it. First of all, the soundtrack was done by Vernon Reid. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with Vernon Reid. He was the guitar player from Living Colour, Cult of Personality, all that kind of stuff. And the soundtrack is brilliant. Kind of very reminiscent of some of the stuff that Buckethead has done. So I really enjoyed that. The practical effects were really, really good. I'm not sure whether or not the movie was supposed to be all serious or not, because I did have some laughs in it, although I don't think they were intentional. But this is one of those movies that clearly has to be seen to be believed. There are just so many subgenres of horror thrown into one film. Like I said, I don't really think they knew what kind of movie they wanted to make with this one. But, it was okay. Yeah. It does have a twist at the end. And I kind of was sorry to see it end for the simple fact that I wanted to see if they were going to throw anything else into the mix. So, but yeah, that's Shadow Dead Riot. Definitely worth a watch if you have nothing better to do on a rainy Sunday. But yeah, give it a watch. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.